Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This week's blog is called Illusions Are Convenient. Removing illusions is a paramount practice in most spiritual paths. Some of my favorite archetypes include Shiva, being the destroyer of illusions, we have Shiva here, and Maya as the Sanskrit word for illusion. Once we discard our illusions, we can see things as they are. However, some of these illusions turn out to be rather elusive. I have had teachers put illusions directly in front of my face and I could still not see them. So I got to thinking, why are illusions in the stories we tell ourselves so difficult to see? And then I realized, when you let go of your illusions, you often have to make serious changes in your life. Once you allow yourself to see through an illusion, things never really go back to the way they were. On the other hand, if we find a way to discount the truth, we can avoid making change, especially if it's inconvenient. So we create a story which allows us to keep our illusion intact. So now we have an illusion and a story. Notice how things are beginning to multiply. Eradicating such illusions and stories involves seeing the truth behind the illusory veil. For me, this often happens when I'm at a retreat or a ceremony. I create enough distance between myself and the everyday dreaminess of my life, and something true and real begins to shine through. It could come in the form of a sudden insight or feedback in a sharing circle. Part of me knows right away that it's true. I can see it and feel it. But it quickly becomes clear that accepting this truth is going to have some serious repercussions in my life. Perhaps it's seeing that my job is not a good place for me to be anymore, or realizing that my significant other and I want very different things. Or maybe it's seeing the way I've been navigating life is no longer working. Now, none of these changes are going to be convenient. We are talking about the potentiality of finding a different job or even career, getting couples therapy or a divorce, or establishing a new way to walk through life. The first couple of times we see an inconvenient truth, thanks Al Gore, we typically find a way to brush it under the carpet. But part of us knows that it's true. I remember seeing through an illusion about 17 years ago at the summer solstice ceremonies. It was the realization that my marriage was not working for me. It was not anyone's fault, we were just growing in different directions. But I was so invested in my marriage working, so I went home and I worked on my marriage until I convinced myself that it fixed the problem. And then about 6 months later, during a session with my teacher, there it was again, clear as day. How could I not see this before? It took about 3 or 4 rounds of this until I actually did something about it, which in this case was ending the marriage. But each time I looked at the truth, it became a little more undeniable until Shiva finally destroyed the illusion once and for all. There seems to be a point of no return at which you just know too much to reconstruct the illusions and stories anymore. Then the house of cards collapses, and we finally deal with the inevitable and massively inconvenient change that we desperately need to make. Thank you for watching. Enjoy yourself this week.